Welcome to another episode of Selling Life and Annuities, where today we're going to be talking about the gateway into the annuity market. So if you're an agent and you'd like to sell more annuities, then you need to stay tuned. Hi, I'm Randy Pierson, Vice President of Life and Annuities for Gordon Marketing, and today with me I've got Tim Luby, the RVP for Annuity Sales here at Gordon. And I want to welcome you where today we're going to really dive into how you as an agent, if you've never sold an annuity before, how you might want to start getting into that space. And we like to talk about the gateway into annuity selling in general, but in specific, typically we're talking about what kind of product?
A MYGA, a multi-year or fixed annuity. Very simple, easy entry into the market.
Yeah, MYGAs, right? Multi-year guaranteed annuities couldn't be, right, unless I missed something, couldn't be a simpler product for an agent to learn and for a consumer to understand, and in particularly in today's dramatically increasing interest rate environment, couldn't be a more exciting product to bring up and quite frankly develop sales.
Absolutely,
Am I wrong?
Yeah. No. And it is really the entry-level product. I mean, it's because of its simplicity, the fact that the rates are guaranteed, the fact that it's easy to explain and that it's easy for clients to understand. All those things make it so compelling as the low-hanging fruit, as we often talk about. That it's sort of the easiest thing to latch onto that clients will understand and embrace.
So Tim, let me ask you a couple questions. What's the shortest duration in the MYGA space that an agent could sell an annuity?
Really 2 years. There's some 1 year things out there, but 2 years, we don't sell much in the 1 and 2 year though. The 3, 4, 5 year are the best selling durations that are out there.
And the
but
most sold
pretty short.
Right, and the most sold average is probably what, duration wise?
5 year is the most popular selling duration. Yes.
And I'm sure there are agents out there that are pondering. I mean, what is in the MYGA area specifically, what would you say is the average premium that we see come in for a multi-year guaranteed annuity?
Well, the average across the industry is just a little over $100,000. For MYGAs, it's a little bit lower than that. Last time I saw, I want to say it's in the 70 range around that for the average MYGA sale.
And I find that even a little surprising myself because I would think that MYGAs are oftentimes compared to and sold against CDs, and oftentimes the average CD account values amongst most banks out there is probably more like $25,000 to $50,000. But if we're averaging 70, I'm happy to hear that. So what kind of rates in today, as of the recording of this video about mid-July, what are some of the rates that an agent might be looking at for their clients in the MYGA space?
Yeah. They're great rates. They've moved up substantially. In the last year to date, let's say, they've nearly doubled, increased by 50% on a 5-year duration. So you can get over 4% for a 3-year rate right now. When I say 4.10 is like a top 3-year rate, there's quite a few over 4. On a 5-year rate, rates have moved all the way up to 4.50 as of last week. And that's substantial. It was not long ago we couldn't find 3% at any duration.
Yeah.
Now, interesting, that you can buy, 7, 10, even 20-year durations, but the rate curve is kind of flat. So you're getting a pretty good bang for your buck at the 5-year mark. And you don't really need to go out 7 to 10 years to get much more rate.
An inflation report just came out today, as a matter of fact, and inflation is running about 9.1%. I know the Fed is going to be meeting here within a matter of days, and it's very likely they're going to be raising rates again. So what would we anticipate to be happening to MYGA rates in the not too distant future?
If the Fed moves rates, the MYGA rates are going to move with them. They have consistently. There's some anticipation sometimes that's out there. But the way rates have moved this time, we haven't noticed much of a dampening of that, that anticipation effect, if you will. So, Feds move rates, we're going to see MYGA rates continue to move up, and they have moved. We would update our rates every couple of weeks most of the time. Right now, we have to update them at least probably once a day, but at least a couple of times a week. The rates are changing rapidly.
Yeah, and in my mind, that screams opportunity for agents out there. The insurance industry is very quick to act when the opportunity arises in increasing these rates, but who's not? The banks. the rates have been rising dramatically, but I'm not hearing about banks dramatically increasing savings rates or CD rates for consumers. So there's a margin there that becomes even more apparent when we start factoring in inflation. But to me, that screams opportunity, right?
It does.
For agents.
Yeah, annuities have historically always enjoyed an advantage over CD rates, but right now you see an even marked advantage. CDs have not responded as much. Not uncommon for people to be in annuities making less than 1%, and we can offer them 4.5, four times as much, maybe 3-4 times as much. That's pretty compelling.
Extremely compelling. So let's talk very briefly about, before we run out of time, process. Would you say, since you work in this space on a daily basis, that getting an agent primed and ready to sell a MYGA as compared to an FIA is faster and easier?
Oh, absolutely. Significantly easier. It can stay within their comfort zone. And further, it's probably often more within their client's comfort zone. Two key parts.
Yeah.
Fixed index annuities, I work with them every day, so they're not too complicated for me, but they're very complicated for clients and also for a lot of agents. So MYGAs are a great transition.
And I suspect that with most of the carriers that operate in the MYGA space for us, few, if any, product certifications, and certainly no rider certifications, extra hoops to jump through, right?
That's right. Yep.
And then the application process, the actual process of taking an application, MYGA apps, they can't be that difficult.
There's still a few pages because of, the NAIC regs and things like that, but they are definitely a simpler app. The suitability issues are much less and much easier. And I guess the big thing is if you're doing it, if you can do an e-app, it's the way to go. If you could do an electronic app with the MYGA, it's going to be done like that. Yeah. And so it's really worth the extra few minutes that it takes up front to do the e-app where you can.
Look, if you're an agent out there and you get in front of particularly senior clients, older age clients, you need to be asking them how well their lazy money is performing for them. And I would venture to say you're going to get a lot of responses that are probably not too happy. But more importantly, if you as an advisor want to get into the MYGA annuity selling space, you need to reach out to Tim because he's an expert. He's a consummate sales coach and can assist you in understanding the space and how to get into it. And so reach out to Tim. He can help you become successful. But for now, unfortunately, we've run out of time for this episode of Selling Life and Annuities. So I'd ask you to do me a favor. At the bottom of this video, please click subscribe as well as the notification bell so that every time we come out with some content that'll help you become a better insurance agent, you'll be sure to be notified. But for now, on behalf of Tim Luby and myself, we want to wish you happy selling.